Welcome to Mighty Monday. This is your host, Mae Renfroe, and yes, this is on my channel, the Mae Renfroe channel, and welcome to Mighty Monday. Mighty Monday is a show that I do on my YouTube channel live every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. You see Mountain Time, but I am back in Texas. So, welcome. This is Mae Renfroe here with you. I can usually do these with a guest when I have a guest, but I had a cancellation today, had to be postponed. And sometimes those things happen. I understand. I can roll with that. So here I am. And yeah, I do the Thoughtful Thursdays too. And so I think this was maybe going to be kind of short and sweet. I'm going to do just a bit of chat to get us started. But just welcome to my podcast and my YouTube channel, Into the Mighty Monday. Because on Mighty Monday, I just love to give hope and encouragement, inspiration to get your week kicked off right, off to a great start. And I believe that every day can be a mighty day with God with us. And yes, even a Monday. So I hope you've had a great weekend, a really good weekend. And we did. My husband and I and a couple of our children, she drove up about 3 hours into Oklahoma from here in Texas, Fitzhugh, Oklahoma, to a baptism and revival called Meet Me in the Water, but it's by Kayla Gabbard Ministries. Kayla Gabbard Ministries. And you may see posts of hers on Facebook because she's got, and that's where I first came across last fall, but her ministries was on Facebook. And then she has a YouTube channel where she shares a lot of discipleship like teachings there and just about the ministry. And even though it goes by her name, Kayla Gabbard Ministries, she will tell you that it's not her ministry, but it's God's. And it's like she's got a team and they do it together and they're doing it for the kingdom of God. And so at this baptismal, we came on the second day, but the first day there was 825 baptisms, and the next day, I understand it was about expected that many again. There was a large crowd, a long line, and we weren't there too long. It just maybe less than a couple hours, but we just wanted to just witness this, to see all these people coming here hungry and thirsty for God and to get baptized. And I just think it's amazing how there's just that many people just kind of outside the churches I'm like, well, why, how is there such a need for this when we do have so many churches all over, and everything. But yet with her ministry started and a couple of weeks ago. Hello, hi, it's just me on here. I had chatting and doing my Monday podcast, and yeah, I'm talking about Kayla Gabbard ministry, the baptism that we went to up in Fitzhugh, Oklahoma over the weekend. So 825 baptisms the one day, about 800 the next day, and I'm anxious to see the video that will come out because they always do a video about the baptism, and to see how many it was over the weekend. But just really amazing to witness that, to get to see everyone coming there, lining up to be baptized. And the second day they stay in the water. That the team that does the baptisms, they literally stay in the water until the last person that was waiting in line comes up out of that water. And I believe it was like almost 10 o'clock at night. I mean, it was dark. We're watching it. They had it live too. So it's just really neat. I just want to share that was kind of our weekend that we went up there and to see that. And they're coming to Meet Me in the Water. Is coming to Texas, here in Texas in September. So if you look up Kayla Gabbard Ministries / Meet Me in the Water, baptisms and revival, you'll be able to see their schedule because they're going to be in various states all summer into the fall in Texas in September. So I'm looking forward to going again with the rest of my family and possibly being a part and seeing how we can serve as volunteers. All right, so to kind of get in, today, what I would like to talk about, I just give hope and encouragement. So that's what I'm about today. And if you had heard my recent, when I did, I had kind of slow internet that I couldn't do a YouTube live, and I was like, well, I can't do these anymore like I usually on a Monday, but we have a booster, and yeah, my internet's good, I think. So my message, I guess, tonight is your world is not falling apart. Your world is not falling apart. So whatever you might be going through right now, I have no clue. And it may you may have gone through some really tough things right now, and maybe it's feeling like your world is literally, utterly falling apart. But I want to assure you that with God being in control and all that we go through, all of these things that we can go through can just be falling into the place that He has for us and that plan that He has for us. And so when I first put this message together, it was back summer of 2018. We had just lost our 17-year-old son. Hello. Um, our 14-year-old son, sorry, in 2017. It was the summer after. And I, really had a hard time, highs and lows in that first year. But I was really praying for a message to help give women, um, you know, a, to show them how God uses bad things, how He can turn these bad things around for our good. And so I was really prayerful about it. And the song came on the radio one day. I listened to KBNE here in Northeast Texas. KBNE, yeah, a song I was listening to in the house, and the song came on. It was called "Just Be Helped." And I didn't know the name of the song at the time, but the lines that stuck out to me uh, was "Your world is not falling apart; it's falling into place." And those lines, that's all I heard of that song, and that entire song. Um, what is it? "Just Be Helped" by Casting Crowns. And that day, that's really all that I heard. That's was "Your world's not falling apart; it's falling into place." But that's all I needed at the time. God knew, and those words I just mulled it over in my mind. I was like, "Your world is not falling apart." Like, even for us, even after our child loss, our world is not falling apart; it's falling into place. And when I mulled that over, I was like, "Yeah, that's right." Even for us, yes, even for us, I felt God's just peace again that I had already been feeling, since our loss, and right at the time of losing our son. I felt a lot of peace, the peace that the Bible describes that um, surpasses all human understanding. You can't describe it, you can't explain it. That kind of peace. I had that peace right from the beginning. But just think, just things not turning out maybe the way I thought they would. I thought there was going to be this big ministry come from this, or like, and people that I knew that was going to say that, how I really inspired them and all these things. And that just wasn't happening in that time frame. And so I was in a really low moment. And so when I was praying for that and I heard that song and I mulled it over in my mind, the peace of God just filled me again. Yeah, that's right. My world isn't falling apart. It is falling in place. And I just felt His peace, and purpose all over me again. And it was just beautiful. And well, then what came to how that message came to be then about your world is not falling apart, was about the story of Joseph. So if you're familiar at all with the story of Joseph in Genesis, chapters 37 all the way to 50, they're in Genesis, and Joseph had several brothers. He was one of 12, and he was hated by his brothers. They were very jealous of him, but they hated him, and they ended up throwing him in a pit and selling him to travelers to Egypt. He was sold as a slave. He became a slave there, and then falsely accused and thrown in jail, and all these things going against Joseph. And I would think that he must have really been feeling that his world was falling apart, or crying out to God, what's going on here? What is the plan? I had all those dreams, back at home. He had all those dreams, and what's happening? These dreams are not coming about when I thought how I thought. This is not looking the way, that I had planned, and it must have been hard for him. But yet God had brought him there, and his world wasn't falling apart. It was falling into place. And I just love how that is completely summed up. Let me grab my in my book about my story. I have that in here. So it's in Genesis 50:19 through 20, and Genesis 45:70 through 8. Just sums that story of Joseph up beautifully. God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God, and He hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord of all his house, and a ruler through all the land of Egypt. But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it on to good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save many people alive. Wow, that was meant for evil. God turned it into something beautiful for his glory. Maybe Satan had his plans, and was working through his brother and brothers, and they had meant harm and meant evil, but what they had meant for harm, God meant it for good. And he's saying, you didn't send me here. He's telling his brothers, you didn't send me here to Egypt. God brought me here. And so I just love that I think each one of us can cling to that in our circumstances, whatever we're going through, and things when it can seem that our world may utterly be falling apart. But God is bringing us into places and spaces that we would have never been in, with places we would never walk in if we hadn't gone through these things in life, and like losing our son. I wouldn't have had that passion and compassion that I have for others. I wouldn't have wrote my book, Holding On to Hope, if I hadn't lost my son. And in so many other circumstances and things in life, you know that has come from it. You can look back on your life and realize I wouldn't have been there and done that if those things hadn't happened. Doesn't mean those things were good. Then the verse of Romans 8:28 says that all things work together for good to those who love God and to those who are called according to his purpose. It doesn't mean those things have to look good, feel good at all, but he can take all those things and work them out for good, like the story of Joseph, and like our story of losing our son. It wasn't good. It doesn't feel good. It hurts a lot. It's been hard, but through that, I've been able to give hope and encouragement and inspiration to others like I never would have been able to. And I've dug in the scriptures to see, what does it say about this? Like, why does these things happen when we love God and want to serve him? And it's been beautiful what I found. When we get to know the heart of God and get to know where he's at in his heart. And he didn't promise us that everything would be good, but he promised that he'd always be with us. John 16:33 says, in him we will have peace. In this world we'll have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So he said, we'll go through things. We'll go through things, but we'll have peace in him. And here on this chapter of my book that I've written about, your world is not falling apart, it's falling into place. I believe that he's going to turn your pain into purpose, your tragedies into triumphs, your tears into joy, your setbacks into breakthrough, your test into testimonies. And they say, greater the test, greater the testimony. Your disabilities into possibilities, your sorrows into serving, and all for his glory, to help many people. You just never know. When you share your story and what God's done in your life, you just never know who that's going to help. It's limitless. It's amazing what God can do. And so when we think that our world is falling apart, I want each one of us just to trust God and to know that it's not, that it's falling into the place that God wants it. If we put that in his hands and surrender and say, God, I want your will, not mine. I want to serve you with all my life, with all my heart, with all my soul. That's what he's looking for, is people just wanting to serve him and to be hungry and thirsty. We're supposed to seek God with everything in us. We're to love God with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our mind, strength, and to seek him, seek after him. So I just want to encourage you to seek after God, and just to cry out, to want to get to know God more and to get to know his heart more. I love songs. Praise and worship songs. Look at different songs like this one that I was talking about was Just Be Helped, that had the lines, your world is not falling apart, it's falling into place. And I have a few more songs out here in front of me that I want to read some of the lyrics tonight, just to encourage you. And I want to encourage you with this one. I Am Not Alone, the song by Carrie Job, and a really, really dear friend of mine sung some of these lyrics at our son's funeral. I want to read them. You will go before me. You will never leave me. In the midst of deep sorrow, I see your light is breaking through. The dark of the night will not overtake me. I'm pressing into you, Lord. You fight my ever battle. Oh, and I will not fear. I am not alone. I am not alone. That is just So beautiful, so beautiful. And a few more lines down here, it says, you call me as your own. You amaze me, redeem me. You call me as your own. You're my strength. You're my defender. You're my refuge in the storm. Through these trials, you've always been faithful. I bring you bring healing to my soul. I am not alone. That is so precious. That is what God is saying to you right now. God is saying to you, I am your strength. I am your refuge. I am your defender. You are not alone. Whatever's happened to you, it doesn't have to stay that way. I've got a precious plan for you. Cling to me. God is saying, come to me, all of you that are heavy laden, and are hurting and in sorrow and alone. Come to me, and I'll give you strength. I'll give you hope. I love this piece of song, "Hope Returns" by Matthew West. I just want to share some of that too. So precious. I know it's hard to see the other side through all the where are yous and don't know why. So through all your questions. I know it looks like hope is in the grave, but he's still on the throne. So be still and know that he's still rolling stones away. When your world is crashing, when your knees hit the ground, when your heart is asking, what do I do now? Just when you think it can't get worse, hold on. That's when hope returns. Like a new sun breaking through the darkest night, like a whisper saying, oh, it'll be all right. I know you're tired and I know it hurts. But hold on. That's when hope returns. I just love that. And that is what God is saying to you. And he's saying, I know it hurts. I know this is hard, but I am with you. I am your constant help, your constant pace, and your rock in the storm. I want to share a piece of this song, "You Keep Hope Alive" by John Reddick, and then I think I will close this up. I just want to become just a short, maybe sweet, mighty Monday, and just to help kick your week off right, to whatever you might be going through. God knows. Maybe you have had a hard week recently, a really hard season, a hard thing, just something you're struggling with. You don't know how it's going to work out, but I want to reassure you that God is working it out and working it out for your good and for his glory. He says he'll work all things out for our good. So it didn't have to feel good or look good, but God can work it out. Whatever you're going through, something really, really hard and something that maybe nobody knows about, only you know about, and you're struggling with this because maybe it's something that you can't even tell anyone. It's just between you and God, and you don't know how to share it and how to get help with it. But God knows, right? And we can, and you need to find someone that you can talk to about it. Maybe that's that thing, you need to find someone that you can trust. But God knows what you're going through. God knows. Nothing is hidden from him. And some of the lines from the song "You Keep Hope Alive" by John Reddick. You keep hope alive from the beginning to the end. Your word never fails. You keep hope alive because you are alive. Jesus, you are alive. There's hope in the morning, hope in the evening, hope because you're living, hope because you're breathing. There's hope in the breaking, hope in the sorrow, hope for this moment. My hope for tomorrow. There's hope in the morning and hope in the evening. I love that. There is hope for whatever you're going through. There is hope, and joy will come in the morning. When God is on the throne and he's in control, there is hope. Regardless of how hopeless things look, there is still hope. And what I always say about our situation of losing our son, our 14-year-old son in 2017, I often say that we lost our son, but we did not lose our hope. We have not lost our hope. And if we lose hope, that is when everything is utterly, we're hopeless without God and knowing God. But when we have God, um, what does this say? Without God, life is a hopeless end. But with God, we have endless hope. We have endless hope with God. So I hope this has been encouragement to you, inspiration, some something mighty for your Monday. So to kick off your week, and God is with you, and your world is not falling apart. Trust me, your world is not falling apart, whatever it is that you're going through. But God is with you, and he will turn it around. He'll redeem that situation. He is coming through on your behalf. He hears you. He knows you. He's right there, a whisper, away, and he's just calling out for you to come to him and say, God, I need you. I can't do this. I can't do this without you. I need you. And he's right there. So call it to God. He's waiting for you to call him a father, and he will call you child, and he'll give you that same peace and that same hope that I have. So, everyone, I hope this has been a blessing. Have a mighty, mighty week, because God is good, and in him we can stand strong. Take care. God bless. And yeah, I have a guest joining me for Thursday. So stay tuned for that. And I'll be back for another Mighty Monday. So I'm wishing you all just the best week, the best, blessed, God filled week. Mighty week, everybody. Thanks for watching.